Now coming on to the third model is your kin structured migration model. Now here, in the above model, there was this assumption that these two populations are, or subpopulations are going to be different, or they have a new form of gene being coming into play. Now what if the two populations we are considering are are kins or are somehow related to a common ancestry, and that happens not as a random event but as a more planned event, where we have it with respect to our kinship, with respect to our ancestry of or the same family. So that is what is considered under kin structured migration model. Here okay, just let me read it out. Gene flow over a period of time, as explained in the above two models, bring the interacting population closer at their genetic level. This change process can be rapid if the gene flow rate is higher. Quite fine. The role of gene flow in the population homogenization helps in reducing the population differences at genetic level. So gene flow in sort of homogenized populations are not going to create a lot of genetic differentiation, but they are going to create similarities or reduce the differences at the genetic level. And now by homogenized population, it implies to a certain extent the population is not being selected at random. The above assumption is correct only in the case the reproductive individuals are randomly migrating from the source population. Okay, so they're randomly migrating from the source population, but it is worth mentioning that the relative individuals, those individuals related, may also migrate. Now that is another chance event where we have related individuals who are coming from a different population, the genes coming from different population to our own population. Those alleles are going to be related, those gene pools are going to be somewhat related, and therefore there's no new form of gene being introduced into our gene pool, right? So for more clear explanation, it can be said that in many instances the entire members of the families might migrate to a new population. Now what will happen in such situation? This is called as kin structured migration. Now there was a very interesting study done by Alan Fix. He was an anthropologist. He tried to observe the kin structured migration and its effects towards the differentiation in the gene pool of the population. He told that the role of gene flow is mainly to minimize the population level differences, right? At a certain point, like both the models, if you remember here, island model says it will going to be similar to the mainland. The two-way gene model says it is going to be merging at a common point. So the idea behind gene flow is that it is trying to reduce the genetic differentiation and bring more of similarities in the gene pool. So it minimizes the population level differences, while the process under kin structured migration, it acts in reverse direction. As in, if it's similar, then probably it is not going to show deviation or reduction in the original form of alleles which were there in the gene pool. So it is not going to slow it down or bring the similarities to the mainland population, or the population from where your kins have migrated from. It is going to be a reversal mechanism. It gives a result of opposite, which with increase in differences between the population group. So now for certain alleles it is going to show increase itself, and that increase, it might increase the differentiation or the differences in the given population. Okay. Now to understand the kin structured migration, Alan Fix observed a community named Semai Senoi. It's a Malaysian agricultural population in Malaya Peninsula. He brought the findings that Though the split in population occurs, the new group were very much kin in relation. So in his analysis, he has found that in spite of reduced differences at the genetic level between the studied Senoi groups due to kin structured migration, the effect of such force at the actual level will be less subject to the condition that migration took place in the random fashion. Okay, so in accordance to island model and two-way gene flow model, which more or less had a random sort of event or migration of the genes from the one population to the other, this is more like a non-random event where we have the kins being migrating to our own population. Such kin structured migration pattern has also been observed in other population groups such as South American Yanomami, then American Plymouth, etc. But also it's not a very common phenomenon, so to say, but it's one of the model where we can study the gene flow. So therefore it's very, very important. The last model is the stepping stone model. Now, what is this model first of all? So we have known that island model assumes that there is a amount of gene flow among all the populations, which is almost identical. Right, that was the assumption of your island model. It has not considered the subpopulations aspect, the substructure of the populations. Island model did not consider that. Rather, two-way gene model did consider the subpopulations where the migration rate was almost equal, and based on that it has shown the gene flow from one subpopulation to the other. So a population is organized into discrete subpopulations, and those subpopulations can also experience isolation by distance. So this is stepping stone model is also called as isolation by distance model. Now within a broadest population, we are having a subpopulations which are isolated in its own way, or a different habitat or different zoning of its own, different isolation of its own with respect to distance. So this model basically approximates the phenomenon of isolation by distance among these subpopulations, these different discrete subpopulations, by allowing most or all the genes to flow to be only between the neighboring subpopulations. So according to the model, it says the most neighboring one, this population can exchange, or the gene could flow among the subpopulations with respect to their most neighboring ones. So this gene flow pattern, it produces an allele frequency clumping effect amongst the subpopulations, which is qualitatively very similar. And so again, the end point of this is going to be a similarity of the gene pool, but this assumption is that it shares its gene pool with the neighboring, the more proximal subpopulation. Now there are these scholars who have also tried to analyze this effect, this model, and they have showed that the correlation between the two alleles which are sampled at random from these two subpopulations, they depend on two important factors. As in, what are the chances that randomly we are selecting alleles from two subpopulations, and those are going to be correlated? What are the factors that could determine that these two alleles are correlated? So firstly is with respect to the distance between the subpopulation. Now with respect to the distance, firstly it mentions, and second thing is it mentions is with respect to the distance between these subpopulations, or the ratio of the flow of the genes among the neighboring colonies and the genes which are flowing for a long distance, or those who are very distantly located. Okay. So in the first case, when you're talking with respect to the distance, as gradually the distance increases, there is a reduced correlation. As the distance of these subpopulations are going to increase, the distance is going to increase gradually, there is a reduced correlation between those alleles. Let's say this is one allele and this is two. These are very distantly located, although it doesn't appear to be distantly located, but let's consider that. So as it moves away, there is another population. As it moves away, the allele of this population, say X, Y, Z, allele which is present in X is very, the correlation between allele of population X with population Z is going to be very minimal or reduced as compared to the correlation of alleles between X population and Y population. Okay, that is the first association that these two scholars have drawn from their research. The second is with respect to the ratio of flow of gene from the neighboring colonies to the gene flow of the long distance where alleles are exchanged among subpopulations at random distances. So with respect to those which are at a closer proximity to the distantly located. That is the assumption. Those are the factors affecting the correlation. So as expected, for the isolation by distance, the correlation between these allelic states decreases with the increasing distance between the subpopulations. Okay, and therefore these are different models. As a summary, they have put up the concluding point. Just go through this, and these are the 4 models which are in a way showing how the gene flow, how the gene is the movement of the gene flow occurs, and how it affects the gene pool of the 2 populations or the subpopulations involved in the entire process of the movement of the genes, right? Let me know if you have any questions, any doubts about it. Okay, thank you.